Good morning. Welcome to another wonderful, magical, mystical morning in the magic mountains of Panama, right? And as you scroll through this channel and other channels, you'll see that this is a worldwide exhibition in observation. That's what today we're talking about here with this hardcore psychology station is deep attention, deep focus, and deep observation of primarily our natural surroundings right around us. Not what's in the digital sphere, right? Not what's in the worldwide news headlines, right? But what's right in front of us, such as the super jungle juice nutrition that's available everywhere using different geographically diverse ingredients into the nutritional diversity idea, the way that we should be eating, the way that we've been deceived away from eating for generations, when the example of how to eat is not only right in front of us in nature and all the wild game within nature, but also in Genesis 1:29. Also when Moses led the slaves from slavery into the wilderness and taught them how to survive on the manna. Observation, depth of sight, it's nutritional, it's experiential, all right? The person with the most diverse adversity, the most experiential diversity, that person, the most wisdom, the most intellect, right? Because they've got more to work with. They can connect more dots. They've seen things more closely over more time. This person can take away more from the new experiences as well. And the young people around him, they could listen to everything he's telling them. They could. They could also listen to some deceiver that's telling them, that truth teller guy, yeah, don't listen to him. Come over here. Listen to me. Hey, check this out. Isn't this fun? Doesn't this feel good? Right? And now you're off the observational track altogether. Now you're not observing nothing. You're perfectly positioned to be my robot zombie slave. Right? My cannon fodder. You're perfectly in what psychologists call the narcissistic supply zone. You are ready to serve. You are ready to not observe, but protect and serve. You've been recruited. And it doesn't really matter which slogan, which mouth sound, which word, which arrangement of mouth sounds that we put to this. We should be able to see beyond that very, very superficial language, mouth sound. All right? So when we become observationists, we will be able to see deeper things. It wasn't until Bill Mollison published his observation of nature that it really stuck. Other people did publish it. Other people did observe it. Right? So it was the observation, the idea that I should probably publish this, and then the action of publishing it that brought together this enterprise of permaculture, which is the revolution. Look that up, right? It's the biological revolution. It's as close to the fundamental base code as we possibly can get. Now, hear me? All physical life was a metaphysical idea first, according to quantum physics, or blueprint. And then in this where light meets the dark, and things begin to take a 3D shape, and they can animate with the light and the water, be like water, my friends, right? Be able to move peacefully, be able to move protectively, have the constitution inside that makes those decisions wisely and based off of deep observation. This is a dynamic experience, and if we pay attention to this channel and we put all the notifications on and we subscribe at the very least, and we get these daily blade sharpenings, no doubt about it, we will be more Jedi. You're not going to put the work in for something and not get the results from that direction, whether it be dissection or combination or deception and drugs and alcohol and dum-dum and bars and stupid conversations with stupid people inside of a stupid culture that's been programmed by the tell you a vision and other stupidities like politicians and every other kind of drama that's got people on the edge of their seats for something that they have no levers to pull in, that they have no potential to help. And if you're not helping this situation, there's another situation out there that you should be helping. All right? That's the indicator. If you being here isn't drastically helping, and you will never help, I gotta put this blanket out. You will never help anyone with narcissistic personality disorder or non-player character disorder. And you links below every video for the Kia Carlberg science. All right? The Kia Carlberg science will make you, it's like the Jedi got, it's like the they live sunglasses, or like a Terminator vision. You can size people up better. In fact, you'll be able to see the pattern recognition so clearly at that point. You'll see it everywhere. Because that's what these ideas and constructs do. They reproduce and replicate themselves. Right? This morning, let's say hello to the star of the show. Huh. Beautiful Blue. My beautiful Blue. I love you. See, this channel is all about love. We have kisses and appreciation every episode. We're supposed to have relationship with animals. We're supposed to have relationships with nature. Whenever I see these young kids caught out in the toxic soup of this city, of the culture, of the worldwide English-speaking culture is the worst. English-speaking laws, English-speaking culture, English-speaking conversation. Blech. I'm so glad for the language barrier, honestly. We didn't think about that, right? That this is actually a protectant from toxicity, potentially. And these are why philosophers would have deep conversations, because deep observation isn't enough. You've got to work it out from all the different perspectives. I don't think conversation's the really ultimate form either. I was talking with my Christian brother who says, the church needs to have farming and fitness in it, right? Like, what happened to that? Like, those two hardcore truths are so necessary in society, just for clarity of mind, for points of observation, so the person can see clearly, because they're not all jarred. They've done the process of release, actually. That for the physical exercise, that's what I'm talking about now. And release is so hard with certain things. For your body to let go of certain toxicities that it's addicted to, holy moly. I was addicted to this idea, not this reality, this idea. This is how hardcore ideas can get. False fantasy. And it could be past or future, right? You could believe lies about someone, and that changes the future you could have had with them. But that future's changed. And you can't be married to anything other than present. That's the secret. That's the secret out of these two torturous zones that are false. They don't exist. You're making them up in your head, the future and the past, so many times. If you don't know, if you didn't deeply observe it yourself, you need to be deeply observing how everything that you didn't deeply observe yourself has been changed by a player so many times, nobody can resist now. And that's why you become such a diamond in these times. Timing is everything in the fight of life. When you completely commit to goodness, God, pure nutrition, pure routine, pure association, pure conversation. People think, one group of people, one Jerry Springer group of people try to frame me as a criminal for the criminal things that they do, the extremely criminal things, the child abusive criminal things that they do, right? And it's really crazy. How many, the reality of the situation is you can't even have a criminal conversation with me, near me. I'm whoa, what are you just talking about? Do you realize the mission that I'm on? Do you realize that I'm on the mission to serve God? Save my princess. That's really the false idea right there. I gotta release, because I've checked every box though. That's the important thing. You don't just walk away, especially when you're looking at a victim of abuse. And we're not gonna get held up here, right? Yes, I did use some hardcore terminology to describe this, with some hardcore mouth sound to describe this before, because it opens up the conversation. Why? Oh, you can't use mouth sounds like that. Wait, whoa. They can do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, but I better describe it this way, or you can't receive it, and I'm the bad guy? Man, have they done, they butcher the mouth sounds. They butcher the activity. If you step outside of what's cool, the mainstream programming, and you become an individual, everybody will hit. What are you doing? You're supposed to be in a penguin tie with the noose tied, the penguin suit. You're supposed to be quacking in the line with us, man, waiting in the slave game. Listen, guys, deep observation. This is all a slave game for everybody. Unless you step out into alternative agriculture, spear tipping alternative agriculture in Central and South America, where it's not regulated, links below, for the real revolution, eloquently disguised as gardening, or a cooking club, or a fitness channel, or psychology observations, deep psychological observations. One is, I'm way much smarter and less neurologically damaged after this tragedy that happened when I get the live jungle juice 5 times a day. And I'm going to be selling this as a supplement soon. And you can get it too. Talk about life upgrade. Don't forget where you heard it. No, really, there are so many beneficial things that we can stack and learn and observe the reality of and disqualify. There's so much weeding we can do in our garden. There's so much crafting we can do in our art of life. Your ultimate expression. And it is recorded, and you do get to watch through it later. And I have verified for myself so much scientific research that's easy to do now, right? Observing that the one thing that's not easy to do is to figure out when a well-trained liar who copies the most valiant people, who has built this mask of truth with all his talent points and the interest of deceiving you, which means he's really got to make this thing good or it's all over for him. So he'll say this stuff that I'm saying even better than I do. And we actually just saw that in the fitness space. Everybody's talking about it. They can't stop talking about it. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but basically an extreme narcissistic personality disorder figured out a great way to not be discovered until eventual implosion, because that's kind of a sickness. It is a disorder. It is a sickness that will hurt you and every single person around you. Case in point, anyone who's affiliated with this guy now is considered a clown, And it's not because they went and said some real shit, and they have tons of haters because a person like that's going to be called a clown a lot of the times too. No, it's because this guy actually was a complete narcissistic, abusive piece of shit to so many people, and he just didn't even care, you know. We all, here's a thing you want to worry about. In the beginning, this guy purported to have zero toxicity level. He was a perfect guy. Who would even say, is that a nose hair? You don't shave your arm, you know. Really getting at people to narcissist max. As this other young cat just made a video of the other day, and I like this young cat, and I'm like, whoa. Dude, careful with that one, because it's really a clinical description for soullessness. You know, or on the way to soullessness, almost there. Very thin soul. And that's a real process. And the completely soulless, they don't know they're soulless. And you might not know they're soulless. You might have some sort of hardcore relation to them, like it's your sister or your mom. You know, we had a friend that we actually just lost to death by child torture. The mother of his kid wanted him to die and wanted him to suffer and wanted him to go down in every way. And believe me, if you got a 10-year-old princess that you love and this bitch is doing this, excuse my language, you're not going to work the next day. This witch, this child abusing. All right, listen. So like, here's mouth sound. This is a great dissection of mouth sounds at a perfect time as we're going from a little bit raw. And I even put devil symbols on the covers of the last two videos, right? Where I could be called toxic for the terminology, for the mouth sounding that I'm using. But I wanted to go there so that we could open it up and talk about it professionally. You know, I do have 35 years of clinical psychology experience, and I know how these clinicians, just like the physical clinicians, are responsible for the mental health surge crisis, just like the physical people are culpable. They're at fault. You know, it's the medical professions that are at fault for the obesity, diabetes, all these crazy crises that we didn't have before they started knowing everything. And when you look around in the United States, all there is entitled geniuses everywhere. They don't need to do shit. They've been programmed by an unnatural, highly deceptive consumer machine that takes years of study to completely understand in the way that I mean rigorous study. I can't explain it to you all in these videos. We've got to stay on the metaphysical study as much as possible. As I started in this video, we're metaphysical code, then we become a physical being. The best way to change this physical being would be to change this base code, right? And evil people want to do this in an evil way. And excellent people want to do this for you. Angelic people want to do this for you. If they have this intention, if they have this knowledge and intention and interest, these angelic people want to keep you from being hurt by this. Oh, they just want to see you. Look, if you have a Jedi mentor like Braveheart, like Jesus did, an uncle that comes and takes you to all these places and teaches you these language and prepares you for this big role. That's a lot different than what most of you are getting today. Most of you are getting absolutely robbed. You're being used for the profits and gains of someone else, used and abused, because we're just a bunch of people users now, man. That, you know, and that's why you become an angelic diamond when you don't do that. When you are a person cherisher, when you love thy neighbor as we have been loved, which means you don't crop their progress, you don't crop their freedom, you don't poison them with bad information, and you'll have interest for them to serve your cocky ass that's better than them for whatever reason, because you made them, or who knows what, you know. Everybody's got some kind of crazy reason. I helped them to get to them this place or that or whatever. Only punks want to own people. You understand? I don't want to control anybody. If somebody's running with me because they want to, they're running full force. They're trying to keep up. They're ready to jump. They will deflect bullets. They will put bullets. This is another level of commitment because I only allow that. I don't accept less. You know, and a lot of people, they're just, oh, that guy, you know, it's very easy to call a person crazy, especially when they see clearer than you do, and you know it. When they've been through more than you have, and you know it. When they're tougher and they didn't bend and become the bump in the road like you did, and you know it. When they fly over all the bumps in the road like a Jedi, like those bumps are nothing, and you know it. Don't be a crab in the barrel. That's the worst modality. That's disqualification. You know, all the sperms go into the egg. What do you think? This is different? You got to be that one person who, in the face of this toxic Avenger herd, who lies to each other, doesn't hold standards, doesn't draw boundaries, people pleasing, whatever's cool, whatever I got to do to be cool, you know, whatever dispensation I'm going to sag my pants, pierce up my face, be a demon like all the celebrities. There's superstars all around me I could be supporting, but no, I'm supporting celebrities. Deeply observe what those are. Deeply observe the combinative, not dissect the combinative science of those elements, as my brother Robert James Allen would tell me, and I gotta start honoring Richard and Bo and all you guys more. What they started to tell me, oh man, I have fallen short on honoring some of these beautiful individuals. I do have an insane book to write at some point. Most of the people in that book would like to see me dead. So many people are dying all around me. So many people predicted that I would make it. They're surprised I'm still here. That wanted to see me dead, just like my friend Aaron Roberts. I know I'm jumping around a little bit. Aaron Roberts was one of the most truest rebel guys. Robert James Allen, one of the truest guys. He really started losing himself towards the end, so I'm glad he went when he did, you know. And I think he pulled back up. He smiled to me from the other side. That crazy things happen when you become a true person. You start to have some seriously true experiences. You can't tell any of these people who are gassed up on BS, because they'll call you the BS because they're having such a superficial experience. They can't talk about any of this depthy stuff, let alone observe it. But sit back and think about things and look at things, and you know, there's deception all around, I guarantee you, all around you, you know. Make a mental game out of figuring out what that exactly is. Because we came here to be true, find truth, learn truly, and cultivate a true spirit in the face of all this liar, deceptive princesses and princesses of deception everywhere that are throwing their souls to the fire so that we can get our wings in stage 2. It's a beautiful holodeck training module for our souls. And if you can get around someone with deep observation, watch them on YouTube, or better yet, practice. You build deep observation by being a deep observer. And then eventually you're a well-practiced deep observer. There's nothing to it but to do it one foot in front of the next. 3 meals a day. Triple down on the basics, right? And you'll fast and learn. You'll do 3 days of fasting. You'll learn to do all these augmentations and power moves and all this stuff along the course if you're paying attention to the real dudes and not these other stupid people I don't shoot steroids and come on here and not tell you about this, that, and the other thing that I'm not doing. I won't never shoot steroids. I will never shoot peptides. Why? I've got the baddest ass all natural system. I know what it is because I tried it. Nutritionaldiversity.com. And I recorded AI explaining how it makes more peptides than if I was to shoot them. Why would I shoot them? That's stupid, especially when China makes them, and at whatever point they launch their attack, they're going to be like, all right, let's shut down most of these tough guys right here with this. We're coming into that. We're already in that. Just so many people are unable to observe deeply and realize. And I guess, I don't know, maybe if you didn't observe deeply before and you went ahead and put in some stuff to you, some bullshit stuff directly from the deceivers, let's just call them, you know, and then you wonder, you take all your prescription from deceivers and wonder why you're a devil. You know what I mean? You got to start subscribe to this channel, share this with your friends. Shit, if they're not going to upgrade with you, you're going to have to cut them. Or you're not going to upgrade. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. I hang out with a dog and extremely intelligent old trees. Velociraptor chickens that will beat up every chicken in the world. And everybody around here knows that they're all trying to spy on me to see what I'm doing. To see if I'm injecting them. No, I have the all-natural winning system for them too. It doesn't take that much time. It's just a little bit of organization, coordination, planning. Because I care enough, because I have enough soul, because I have enough heart, because I have enough drive to not just sit here and mouth sound out ideas, but put action to them, and then we all enjoy the enterprise. And everybody around here really, they were of such character and merit, they respect the Capitan for what he has sacrificed and done. They're not sitting around here fucking talking shit to him and all that stuff. They wouldn't be around here. That's like, that's for my kindergarten education channel, sorry. Not my hardcore psychological channel. You know, and I've got a few channels on YouTube, and I never would have came on YouTube. The last thing I have is, I can't stand narcissists. They're everywhere. I help people through narcissistic abuse for free. That's right. I don't need anything from you. You go to Brandon Angel Fitness on Instagram. You can see my life story bubbles that I live this life. You know, I get up in the morning. I throw down 28 minutes to an hour sometimes. For anyone who finds this cosmically on the path of righteousness, which illuminates as we walk it, and wants to really start to file down that Jedi edge. And guys, I would, before I ever made these types of videos, or made videos with botanicals, I had years of practice, years of experience, years of hardcore study, to where a righteous person feels comfortable in presenting some material to his friends, right? And I'm not looking to be an unnatural celebrity. I talked before about the story of Joe Bonamassa. Joe Bonamassa was Smoking Joe Bonamassa. That was the title given by B.B. King, who he played on stage with at 12. And you know, these old schoolers counseled him about fame and what it does to you and all this stuff. So when he released during the CD age, he came out on these DAT tapes, so only studios would know about him. Until this day, not too many people know about one of the best blues guitarists of our epoch. And he plays in these very, very musical enthusiast bandwidth that, and he, you know, he avoided all of that, and he stayed in this balance and harmony where what he was doing would not be corrupted. This art in which he served, this purpose, this mission, this expression in which he served that was higher than himself, key stuff, that right? To where now, and he's leaving an intrinsic imprint around him and everywhere he goes, and all these things work together, and that's quality, genuinosity, and authenticity that he's leaving behind, and his dynamic wake. Well, as in the documentary Muscle Shoals explains, and a lot of people don't know that most of the 60s Buddy Guy, Aretha Franklin, and all the Animals, these hits were made in this little studio with this little small band of white kids in Alabama, out in slave land, swampland, where there's more water, catches that dynamic voodoo verse, ends up being a little more thicker. I know, being a desert cat, coming from the land of enchantment, being a spiritual desert cat that ran away from juvie jails to Native American reservations, and then coming to the jungle, where I can start to say, because of that diverse experience and being able to connect dots and being a deep observer the whole time, also being so I have to thank my black hole selfish narcissist mother for putting me in into the kitty jails, where I had some butterfly effect, and then I came out and I saw deeper, and I was in search of deeper things. And I find them. Now, okay. Muscle Shoals, there's a documentary, really good documentary. And all the interviews with all these people, yeah, there's something about that land. There's something about that territory. There's something about that voodoo verse, that extra natural layer that was impressioned by the slave. And the studio owner says it. He was like, yeah, that slave rhythm has such an effect on me. I knew to build the studio here. And then look at that. That's a deep observer. That's a deep observer. That you must watch this documentary and look at the studio owner closely. A lot of people will call him crazy. You might find that he has very similar eyeball situation to mine, right? Everybody's making fun of the Erica Kirk eyeball situation. Yeah, extreme deceivers and extreme truth beings do seem to have some significantly extreme eyeball characteristics, and we live in such a beautiful life. I hope these Jedi training modules for your soul, inside the Jedi training module for your soul, have been course corrective, have been blade sharpening, have been a brake system, have been a cognitive raise for you, and when we can observe things more deeper, we can sit back and observe ourselves, how we're reacting, what this means to us, what we're really made of at this moment right now, and how much stronger we need to get. That's the truth for us all. How we've got so much potential and distance to cover inside of that potential. We have no excuse. We've made lots of mistakes, each one of us, It's time to tighten that up. It's time to take life serious. It's time to care enough. It's time to realize we don't have forever. This life is very short. You're gonna live it out, believing deception. I shared on my Facebook, my man Raul. Let me say hello, Raul Snake, Josh Monday, AKET, Victor, JP, Richard, Aliberti, Robert James Allen, Bo Iser, the leader, the really honestly the leader, enabler, the spirit tip of the truth movement, the Godfather, right? It's so unfortunate we need to learn so much about him and our relationships with him after he's gone. All these stories we're not going to hear in this lifetime. When you have lessons, when you have signs in front of you like that and you can't read them, you know, I got a lot of people in my life. It's just like, dude, you couldn't figure that out. You couldn't see that. You couldn't see around that corner. You couldn't see that future. You didn't have a crystal ball on that one. And these are the zones of observation I want to push you to get yourself into, to start taking more seriously, you know what I mean? To become stronger in every way, and every potential that you can get to will be through one of those strengths. And every reason you become trapped, like the modern Moses, right? Every reason you don't want to be trapped. You want to exercise your freedom. You know, every single blessing and huge benefit I've had in my life-changing course, right? My relationship with God, all of it was because I escaped a trapping by evil schemers who were actually benefiting off my trapping for stupid, sick shit. Money, control, ego, right? And they were deceiving me and they were robbing me. And I didn't put up with that. I didn't accept that. And now I'm on a miraculous wild ride, and ain't no one gonna trap me. In no way. You know what I mean? And nobody that I love and care about if I can help it either. You know? While we're building a fence, sometimes we gotta put blue here in the bathroom. People freak. Because I'm like, man, you know, we'll be out grocery shopping or whatever. I gotta go home to my dog. I'm not gonna leave my dog in the fucking damn jail cell bathroom for several hours. No. For your dog will be okay. I can't do that to any life, man. I can't trap. I can't stand to see something be trapped. You know what I mean? It fucking kills me. Especially if I love and care about it. And especially if some stupid, selfish piece of shit is doing it. For some stupid, selfish piece of shit reasons. But that's the world we're in right now. Stupid, selfish pieces of shit that already got 50 palaces everywhere are programming the entire populace to become slaves to their thing. And if you have MPC and MPD, you're the tools that keep these control freaks working on the top. It all goes together. You need to resist lies, resist slavery, resist conflict, resist their stupid fucking conflictive, control freak, fucking bullshit. Become cultivators yourselves and get rid of the NPC. We're all fighting the selfish disease. All you pussies that are losing, it's your fault. It's your fault this whole world is going to shit. I want to beat you more. You know, I'm gonna get you down, all the way back to that. What are you gonna do? You gonna be a fucking soulless piece of shit forever, or are you gonna turn it around? Is it gonna cause you? Is it gonna take you getting to rock bottom to be able to springboard back up? To be honest, I don't know, and it's gonna be different for everybody. And I'm your fellow journeyman, as I say in every episode. I'm just here learning too, because I care enough. I care enough to endeavor into the study. And maybe you got insights on that. Please tell me. You know, there's only like 30 people in every one of these little seminars, and only, I think, 15% of those watch these things all the way through. No, actually, what's crazy, it's crazy. I just looked at, now it's flipping. I'm getting all kinds of watch time, but no likes. I think YouTube knows what a hater is too. I think they know when someone is so good that people just watch the whole thing but never like or comment or anything. It's because you're so good that you've these people can't even support it, right? You can support a kind of good guy who's just a little bit ahead of you, but when you know this dude's gonna walk in and all the girls are gonna be paying attention to him, no, to the point where he maybe says something crazy or does just to get everybody to leave him alone forever on that particular Jerry Springer island. No, I'm just playing. Man, I could start that one's good for those who know what I'm talking about. Dude, in this world, it is not hard, guys, to become a Jedi that can ride, run, swim, talk, and work circles around all these Jerry Springer people everywhere. All these non-caring, throw their own life away, throw your life away, tell you some bullshit just to hear the sound of their own voice. Stop talking, start observing, guys. Well, I don't... So, and, you know, all these people, I'll just real quick, you know, this guy wants me to do this community thing with him. I just did this community thing with a guy up here. And I'm hitting him, and I'm hitting him, and I'm testing him, and I'm testing him, because I have this idea, oh, this is just another narcissist in the chain of narcissism. All these people here are just fucking supply, dude, that can't step up and become independent individuals. You know, whatever their fingerprint assignment is, they're easily distracted, deceived. All you have to be is distracted. From that into the narcissistic supply of this fucking Nimrod who's just dooming his soul for instant gratification here, appeasement from the crowd. You know, everybody knows I'm a real bull. These dudes really put the mask on when I come in, fucking try to test their shit out. But, you know, so, let me see, you know, you should have never, dude, narcissists should know not to win, but I might expose your whole shit, man. I probably will. It's almost a guarantee. But I didn't. I just simply bowed out. I said, okay, I see what this is, you know. And I let him know, because I really do hope, especially with some of the younger people, that you can turn it around. And you do that by deep observation, no interest in any, I don't care what anyone says. I can say whatever I want. I'm free. I'm interested in freedom, not making you, all these people I don't even know, that really most of them want to see me fail, happy when come to me with a smile and a deception and a slave game bullshit thing. We're in the slave game. All this stuff is slave game stuff. That's why I keep telling you, follow me. The revolution is biological. It's closer to that base code. And we can go over here and we can rebuild this whole thing. As Buckminster Fuller says, you're not going to reform this fighting inside the existing construct. You're going to need to rebuild this. You're going to need to build something new that renders that obsolete. And so that's what we're going to do. And we pray and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. And we pray that everybody can really do their best and sit quietly and observe, and no longer need to engage with this deceptive construct. Just see what things really over. Be really happy within yourself that you're really learning. Just flip that switch that all challenges are opportunities to build strength. I'm going to find the truth. I'm not attached to any of these outcomes. And when it really hurts to let go or to realize one truth that I figured out, I'll take time. I'll take my time and I'll do the best I can with it. But I'm not going to live a lie. You know, that would be, that's on that you got to draw the line somewhere, right? Let's just generally try to draw that line there. And we love you, we love you, we love you. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you for our 10 fingers to this beautiful holodeck training module for our souls. And we're gonna go forward. We're doing excellently, getting the attention of angels above, helping everyone around us also observe deeply, observe themselves, sit quietly, and not worry about fitting in with the other rats and running the other rat race, being distracted from the beautiful new constructive things we can do that totally require for us to step outside of this other limiting slave game framework. And we say these things lovingly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.